Tonight could be the night. This guy's got a sniff that he might get to see the one thing he spends his spare time looking for.
Well, I think we're going to go to Holy Island now, actually. Get parked up in a decent place and kind of wait for it.
Reed Ingram Weir's like a storm chaser, but instead of tornadoes, he chases the northern lights. Then he photographs them.
That's here. Last time I was here, that's what it looked like.
I've come out with Reed because although my job is looking at the sky, I've never experienced the northern lights, the aurora borealis.
We haven't seen anything yet, apart from some beautiful stars, some shooting stars and the Milky Way. No aurora, but we're still pretty hopeful. It's something I would absolutely love to see, and the good news is you don't have to go to the Arctic to do it.
I've seen amazing displays in Norway and Iceland, but probably the highlight was actually the most recent trip. Just went to my kind of hotspot, if you like, Holy Island, and parked up. Then suddenly it like ignited, like curtains of light and streaking down, and it was really quite spectacular. And my friend Patrick, he was just like standing there, like completely gobsmacked. You know, he was like could not believe what he was seeing.
On this occasion, the only lights from cars.
Yeah. All ready to go?
But the buzz of thinking I might see it is drawing me in.
The story starts with ancient civilizations who existed mainly in the Arctic Circle in the Northern Hemisphere. And they saw these things dancing around in the sky, and they thought that they were the spirits of their enemies or heroes who died involuntary or a violent death, if you like, finding their way off to heaven themselves. There's quite an incredible spiritual journey when you start learning and reading up on the Northern Lights and how they got the origins in folklore and fairy tales. But of course, you know, science comes along and spoils the party, unfortunately.
So what is the science? Well, it begins with weather. Only not weather on Earth, but on the sun. There, storms rage and sunspots form.
When the sun gets active, it starts producing a lot of spots. Just like a teenager produces spots, and these spots burst. And when the spots burst, the stuff that comes out is the positively charged particles.
Here are the particles thrown out into space. If they get blown to the Earth, they'll bash into our atmosphere. That's when the fun begins. The thing is, we kind of see the Northern Lights all the time. They're everywhere. We just don't realise it.
A neon sign works by giving the neon gas in the tube energy using electricity, and by imparting energy to the neon gas, it glows just like the Earth's atmosphere glows when it gets its energy from the sun.
So why the different colours? Remember the old flame test from school?
I'm going to give the atoms of sodium some energy, not by bashing them into the solar wind, but by heating them in the Bunsen flame.
Ooh.
And you can see that beautiful orange glow from the sodium atoms as they get given energy.
Lovely, so that's the colour signature, if you like, of that particular element.
That's right.
So this is what happens to the gases in the Earth's atmosphere when the solar wind hits.
That's right, the solar wind bashes into those gases, gives them energy, and they glow with different colours, just like these elements.
And why only at North and South Poles? Another old school experiment.
What we've got are iron filings spread out on this plate, and if I put my magnet on here and tap, you can see the field of the magnet is revealed by the iron filings. The Earth is a giant magnet. It has north and south poles, and the solar wind is affected by the magnetic field of the Earth. But when the sun goes absolutely crazy and throws out a whole load of charged particles, then they get attracted to the poles and they just spread south.
That's why we're now getting to see it in northern England, because the sun's ramping up to its most active phase. It's all good news for Reed Ingram Weir, who last year began chasing the aurora. So far, his results have been stunning. So every day he scans the internet to find out if it's going to happen again.
My first point of call is space weather. It's just spaceweather.com.
Okay.
Sometimes there'll be a headline like, you know, if there's been a solar flare,
Yeah.
something to cause, you know, the radiation to come to Earth, a reason for it to be here.
It's not rocket science, forgive the pun, it really, really isn't. All you need to do is watch for when the sun's active. If it's releasing a flare, that energy the flare will release will take about 2 days to get to the Earth. So you've got 2 days to make your plans of where you're going to go. Then we've got to hope that there's going to be a clear sky, get away from the city lights, keep your fingers crossed and keep looking up. There's an image from the International Space Station and we see the aurora from above.
Gary wants to give everyone the chance to see the Northern Lights, and his sessions at Kielder Observatory are usually jam-packed.
For me, it's just the beauty and the colours and the fact that nature can produce something so spectacular.
I think there is a magical feel about them. Rather than just looking at stars off in the distance, I think because they're actually close to Earth and they almost belong to Earth in some respect.
Because they're quite amazing, really, aren't they? I don't do science, so to me they're sort of just magical.
People just love to see the sky behaving in this way that they've never saw before. You know, this is the universe's way of telling us all that it's here and it's there, and in a most beautiful and profound way when we see the Northern Lights. Hopefully the information we give people, if they follow these basic rules, then we're guaranteeing people for the next 1 or 2 years they will see it from the northeast without a doubt.
Really? So in the next year it's a given?
It's a given, definitely.
2 days later, here on Earth.
And the solar wind's been travelling towards Earth, and tonight it looks like it might have hit. We've already seen, possibly on Twitter, that someone in Scotland has seen the lights, and now we're heading back up to Northumberland as fast as we can to see whether we can. Yes, there's absolutely loads of tweets coming in for us now on Twitter. I absolutely love this, the way that as soon as you mention that you're possibly in with a chance of seeing the Northern Lights, Twitter just goes mad. I think everyone is absolutely obsessed with the idea of spotting them.
It's been a long night, and all the camera picks up is a tiny green glow. So the next night, Reed gives it another crack. I can't make it. I'm absolutely gutted.
So it's quite exciting actually, because it's a very bright light in the sky. You know, basically when a cloud becomes in front of the aurora, you can easily make out the aurora being there. I suppose the buzz is driving up really and seeing it from the car. So I pulled over on the way up here, I got a shot from the road. It's quite cool because I managed to get some of the cars driving past. So I got the light trails from the car and then the aurora in the distance. So I'm actually quite happy with the shot I took. It's gone a bit dim now, it's kind of dulled down a bit, but that doesn't mean for any reason it's gone for the night. It's probably just warming up, to be honest.
And he calls it just right. The sky exploded.
You can kind of see it fizzling away with lots of vertical lines and things.
Suddenly, Reed's at the centre of a national news story.
Hundreds of people reported seeing the aurora last night, and experts say conditions will be good again.
So we have a beautiful sunset here in Northumberland this evening.
It was just great to see it again, and we were actually out on Saturday as well, but we didn't have any luck, and then had a kind of little warning last night, and it just headed straight up north as fast as it could.
Oh, that is so exciting. They're the best thing ever.
I've never seen them. Have you seen them?
I have seen photographs.
You've seen,
you've
seen photographs of the... Well done.
And for now, that's all I've seen. But I'm going to make it my mission not only to see the Northern Lights myself this year, but to let everyone else know when they might be able to as well. Reed is a very lucky guy.
I love photography. I love photographing the lights, so I suppose I'll just keep doing it until I get the image I want. It's quite an achievement to have captured that moment and being there at the right time, and no one else has got that.